Manchester United 4, West Ham United 0. A very good victory for Manchester United there in the opening Premier League game. Can't ask for no more than that. 4 goals without reply. Manchester United have dominated West Ham pretty much most of this game and have run out comfortable winners. There's no way you can ask for any more than that on the opening day of a Premier League weekend. All it is about is winning the first game, and Manchester United have been ruthless today. We've scored 4 goals, which we haven't done for a long while in a Premier League game at Old Trafford. I wouldn't have thought, or not many times in a Premier League game at Old Trafford. Too many times last season we dominate like we did from the off. We dominated for most of the first half without really getting enough in us to score that first goal. Took us a while to get that first goal, which I was a bit nervous about. Put out a very, very strong lineup. Was really pleased with that. Herrera wasn't in the starting lineup. Fellaini wasn't in the starting lineup. Neither was Martial or Lingard. But the only downfall for a lot of fans was Martial. A lot of fans want to see him start a game. Obviously come on later, but very strong lineup for Manchester United. Dominating the play, missing chances, a few chances where we maybe could have scored. And then we've got the breakthrough, a good ball through from Marcus Rashford. Looked like he was trying to play a Matic, but Lukaku got on the end of it, hit the post and goes in for 1-0. And thoroughly deserved 1-0 lead at half-time. Should have really been more. They had one chance at the end of the half where it was straight at David De Gea, which was the only real threat for Manchester United in that first half. We look a lot more solid in that midfield with Matic in there. He's a class player. When you actually watch him play and study him in 2 or 3 games so far, he's played for Manchester United. One half of a pre-season friendly and the game against Real Madrid, and today I didn't realise just what a good footballer he actually is. I know he does a lot of dirty work as well, but he is actually a very, very good footballer himself. Can play, can pass the ball well as well, which it's a lot better than I thought it was. So I was really pleased when we actually signed Matic though as well, and I'm pleased because Chelsea really could do with him right now, and it's Manchester United's game. I thought he was brilliant today. And the second half we've got a goal, a free kick in, and Romelu Lukaku's headed that in. The only concern was that Romelu Lukaku had both Manchester United goals, and I'm just hoping that we don't come a bit reliant on his goals this season. Yes, all teams are reliant on one player over others, because if you've got a world-class forward goal scorer in your team, he's going to score the majority of your goals. But we do need to share some out a bit more, because our second top scorer behind Zlatan in the Premier League last season was Juan Mata with 6 goals, which just isn't good enough if you want to win the title, which was good to see. Martial come off the bench for Marcus Rashford. The only downfall today was Marcus Rashford didn't get himself a goal, hit the post in that second half, which Joe Hart was well beaten for that. And I would have been really pleased if Marcus Rashford had got on the score sheet as well, because second half was really terrorising Zabaleta at the back, and then Martial come on to terrorise Zabaleta some more, and he went through and scored himself, which is fantastic for Martial, because he hasn't been given a lot of chances, and he's a player like when Rashford come onto the scene. Rashford took his chance and forced his way into Louis van Gaal's plans, and then took his chance under Jose Mourinho and forced Jose Mourinho to play him in a number of games. Now, sometimes when Martial's played under Jose Mourinho, hasn't always taken his chance, but today he scored a goal, and then we set up another one for Paul Pogba, who thrashed it home to get a comfortable 4-0 lead. Probably 3-0 would have been probably 3 or 4-0 was probably about fair. Would have been about fair for Manchester United. Manchester United were very, very comfortable, but it's great to see Paul Pogba also get on the score sheet, because he's a player like Martial that needs to be scoring more this season. If Manchester United could get Paul Pogba, Rashford and Martial all scoring 10 league goals at least, the 3 of them, then Manchester United wouldn't be far off the title, because I'm pretty confident that Romelu Lukaku can hit 20 to 25 league goals for Manchester United this season. And if Zlatan Ibrahimovic comes back from injury as well and chips in with some, then Manchester United will be well in that title race. Now, that is the big if. If Paul Pogba, Martial and Rashford do not hit them heights, and also you can throw in Juan Mata as well, he should be hitting maybe 6, 7 or 8 league goals potentially if he's playing regularly. So if 3 out of them 4 players could hit 10 league goals, then Manchester United wouldn't be too far off the title, as I say. But it is a big if for Manchester United. We've really got to get them players firing, because you can't be doing what we did last season, relying almost solely on one player. Now, Zlatan got 17 league goals for Manchester United last season before he got that injury in the Premier League, and we can't rely on that this season. He also missed a lot of chances, but we can't rely on just one player doing it all this season. you've got to chip in with goals. You're looking at other title-winning sides. They usually have one main man that gets about 25, and then another bloke that gets 15 to 17, or a couple of players that chip in with 10, 12 goals each. And Manchester United do have the potential for that, but I'm still worried whether we will be able to do that with our players. We're still looking at signing Perisic, so where he's going to fit in, I'm not too sure. He's different from Martial and Rashford, a player that will put the ball into the box, as opposed to players that will cut inside. So obviously he's a different option for Manchester United, but Martial again on the bench for the start of this game, so it is going to be a worry to see how Martial gets in if we sign Perisic as well, and Rashford, and we've got Lingard. We've got a number of players now, but it is a good option to have a lot of different players. We need that at Manchester United, a variety, and a lot of players that can score goals, create goals, because Manchester United have been a bit lacking that in recent years. Didn't have enough players that could do that. And in Fergie's time, we always had at least 3-4 forwards that could either score a lot of goals or create a lot of goals, like the likes of David Beckham, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Players that could either create or score a lot of goals. So Manchester United would have 3 or 4 of them, and you need that from different options, because if one player is having a poor game, like Lukaku's having a poor game, he's been marked out the game, it frees up other players in order to score or create goals. Anyway, really pleased. Matic for me was fantastic, so I'm going to give him man of the match. You could argue for a few other players, like Lukaku as well. Was fantastic as well, because he got 2 goals for Manchester United. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.